deliver the service that they are responsible for. So it is sometimes difficult to assess options and to ensure consistency from one analysis to another. Results can vary depending on who holds the pen. Conclusions can then be disputed and recommendation not supported. So using a framework, national authorities can have a precise process to follow, coping with these challenges. In the case of equipment modernization, authorities often have to choose between the old proven technology and new technology, which may involve considerable investment in time and money. In this particular case here, using the framework, we have evaluated if it would be more cost-effective to move from the old buoy technology currently used, represented on the left here, where you see a standard summer lighted buoy on top and an unlighted ice bar buoy bottom left, versus a state-of-the-art four-season lighted buoy represented on the right. Moving to the newer technology represents sometimes a very high investment, and authorities like us have to make sure that this is not only cost-effective but also meet the need of mariners. Another use is in the case of service delivery. Authorities sometimes need to evaluate if part of their ACE navigation program should be delivered internally, using their own internal resources, or using external contractors. With this framework, we can evaluate both the operational effectiveness and organizational benefits using a common analysis. I'm sure you don't see it properly, but don't worry, we'll go through it. So, the business case framework here consists of an 11-step process conducted in a logical sequence to ensure all required information is presented in a standardized format to permit the approving authority to arrive at a consistent and rational decision. The business case framework itself is composed of two documents, a guideline and a template. The framework ensures consistency of approach and analysis. It was developed with national participation to ensure buy-in and use by all of our regional offices. The business case deals with items like net present value and discount rate, helicopter and fleet usage, personal costing, and facility costing. So the next few slides will give you an overview of all those steps contained in the framework. Steps 1 to 3 describe the purpose of the business case, the authors, the stakeholders involved, the proposed initiatives, the objective in preparing the business case itself, whether it is related to equipment modernization or concerning service delivery options. Step 4 defines the boundary of the analysis by identifying assumptions and operational or policy consideration that establish limits on the scopes or depth of the review, and which might preclude certain options. For example, a constraint could be stated as the level of service offered to the mariners will not be impacted unless it is agreed with them. Step 5 describes the current situation in just enough detail to allow the reader to have an overview of the present situation. It should address the following areas as required: an overview of the relevant program, a description of the current baselines operating, including personnel involved in the delivering of the program, the responsibility of each section, contractors or third party involved, the facilities required to support the activity, transportation requirement, whether it's a ship, a helicopter, or a truck, and the operating environment, such as the geographical location, time of the year when the program is in service, the performance standards, information systems used, specifications, and directives. It also includes a description of the current effectiveness of service delivery and cost of delivering the service under the current base situation, which is the baseline cost. Step 6 simply describe at a very high narrative level the options considered for the initiatives. Step 7. In step 7, each option presented in step 6 are subjected to a structured analysis to permit an apple-to-apple comparison. This is where the real work happens. Under this step, authorities must define first a high-level set of criteria that can be applied to all the options, descriptions of the impact on service delivery of other programs, descriptions of the impact on lifecycle management composed of 4 distinct phases: the conception, the acquisition, the in-service, and the disposal. This is where the options are evaluated dollar-wise, money-wise. Calculation should be completed in nominal value, taking into account the inflation and discount rates when capital purchase is involved. Then are following descriptions of the impact on the infrastructure, on human resources, and on the environment. Step 7 also involved the conduct of a sensitivity analysis, a what-if analysis, followed up by a risk management of all the options involved. Examples of sensitivity analysis includes items such as future cost of fuel or material, equipment, operational life of an asset, maintenance cost, recycling cost, etc. A proper risk management analysis involves the identification of all the risk, understanding the context of the risk, identifying the risk events, doing a risk assessment, a risk response, and a communication plan. Step 8. Describe the conclusions derived from the options analysis. This leads to demonstrate which option best meet the evaluation criteria and provide the best results in the areas assessed in step 7. Step 9 identifies the options recommended for the approving authority. Step 10. Present a work plan for the implementation of the recommended solution. The work plan could include the formation of an implementation plan, descriptions of performance measurement, again, a schedule, resources, and funding requirement to implement the solution. The implementation section is important because it demonstrates to management what the implication of a proceed decision is in terms of level of time, effort, and cost. Finally, step 11 simply describes the next steps to be taken on approval of the recommendation itself. So my key messages today to you are that a business case analysis contribute to ensure that all relevant information is evaluated, considered, and used in the decision-making process. It covers all the operational effectiveness and operational benefits. It standardizes the process and provides a common basis for making sound decisions. On the opposite side, preparing a business cases like that can be time-consuming, cumbersome. It requires dedication and requires the support of the upper management. It can also be perceived as overkill by those not familiar with the complexity of the options being analyzed. It can also be difficult to complete, as sometimes the information is simply not available, or it takes time to get the information. Results will always be subject to the quality of the work in the preparation of the business cases. However, a framework like that contributes significantly towards the integrity of the results. Like my colleagues, if you are interested, it will be my pleasure to share this framework with your organization, so please do not hesitate to contact my co-author, Garrett Furlong, or myself, if you need additional information. And that concludes my presentation.
last but not least, next speaker is Dr. Mark Thibault, who is a program analyst working in the U.S. Coast Guard's Office of Waterways Management. Mark is a graduate of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy and served aboard the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Harriet Lane